Looks like there's a new couple in Hollywood. Aaron, Pierre, Teyana. Aaron, Pierre, that's Teyana.
Aaron Pierre just did something no one saw coming. Not on stage, not in an interview, but right after Teyana dropped her latest track. The moment the song hit streaming platforms, fans leaned in. At first, it felt like another Teyana slow burn. Beautiful vocals, dreamy production. But then, buried in the second verse, something changed. A name, a melody, a single line that didn't just sound poetic, it felt like a direct hit. He played keys on my soul, then ghosted like a thief of sound. It wasn't just the lyrics that shook fans, it was the instrumental underneath. A familiar loop. One that die-hard followers recognized from an unreleased melody Aaron Pierre once teased in a grainy studio live. The connection was instant. And chilling. Was this a hidden message? A call-out? Or simply heartbreak poured into sound? Either way, the internet heard it. And so did Aaron. His response? Raw, immediate, and unforgettable. Teyana's new track, That Melody's Fire, came without fanfare. No promo cycle. No press teasers. Just a midnight drop and a one-line caption. For the moments I can't speak. Fans knew that meant something. But no one expected what they heard. The song began gently, but by the time that verse came, everything stopped. The lyric, he played keys on my soul, then ghosted like a thief of sound, was haunting. And it hit hard because the melody underneath wasn't random. It echoed a sound that hardcore fans knew Aaron had played in a 2022 livestream. He never released it. It was personal, private, which made Teyana's choice to use it all the more intimate, and possibly, all the more brutal. Reddit lit up. Fans ran comparisons, matched loops, laid both melodies over each other. The match was almost perfect, which meant this wasn't accidental. It was intentional. And Aaron? He heard it. He felt it. And he responded in a way that no one expected. Not with words, but with something more vulnerable. His music. Just hours later, Aaron went live. No announcement. No PR setup. Just him, a dimly lit room, and a piano. His hands hovered over the keys for a moment. Then he played it. The same melody. Slow. Hesitant. Vulnerable. And then, he looked into the camera and said, "So she remembered it, huh." That line alone sent the internet into a frenzy. He didn't name her. Didn't say more. But every breath, every pause, was loaded. He followed with something heavier. You can't set fire to something you didn't help build. He wasn't angry. He was aching. The live stream chat exploded. Thousands tuned in, commenting nonstop. The emotion was undeniable. Aaron wasn't performing. He was reacting, honestly, heartbreakingly. And for the first time, fans saw a version of him that was unguarded, unrehearsed. This wasn't just a reply. It was a wound made visible. And suddenly, Teyana's lyrics felt sharper, deeper. He went silent again after the stream, but those few moments were enough to open the floodgates of interpretation. And fans couldn't stop rewatching, analyzing every note, every sigh, every glance to the camera. Social media fractured immediately. Fans took sides. Team Teyana called it artistic honesty. She was hurting, and she did what artists do, turn pain into performance. Her defenders praised her bravery. They said the song wasn't petty, it was poetry. They pointed out that Teyana has always worn her heart on her sleeve, and this song was just her way of bleeding artfully. But Team Aaron wasn't having it. They said the line about ghosting was low, especially considering the melody came from a private moment, a melody he never shared beyond his closest circle. Twitter debates turned heated. TikTok creators began editing side-by-side comparisons of the song and the live stream. Reactions varied. Some were in tears. Some were angry. Some just stunned. But everyone agreed on one thing. This wasn't just a song drop. It was emotional storytelling. And it left a scar. Because when art gets this personal, everyone watching feels a piece of it. People began posting their own stories of lost connections, art used as closure, and songs that became emotional battlegrounds. One verse from Teyana's track keeps echoing across timelines. It's short, haunting, and somehow impossible to forget. She hummed his light but danced in shadows he didn't see. On the surface, to someone who's not really paying attention, it sounds like metaphor. Poetic, maybe even cryptic. But for fans, especially those who've been following her and Aaron's story for years, It doesn't feel like metaphor. It feels like confession. A line soaked in quiet regret. Maybe even self-awareness. It made people pause. What was she trying to say? Was she admitting she never let him all the way in? That while he offered her hope, warmth, something bright, she remained hidden in places he couldn't touch. Was she scared? Was she protecting something? Or was it sabotage, emotional walls built too high, too long ago? The questions didn't stop there. If anything, the bridge made them louder. Every chorus I wrote, I rewrote to erase him. That line didn't just hit, it sliced. It felt like a direct hit to the heart. And not just his. Fans called it savage. Others said it was the rawest, most honest lyric she's ever written. Not because it was angry, but because it was exhausted. That kind of pain doesn't come from bitterness. It comes from remembering everything, every moment, and still choosing to let it go. Reddit lit up immediately. Threads piled in, one after another. Some compared the emotional depth of the track to her older ballads, especially Gonna Love Me. But almost everyone agreed, this was different. Gonna Love Me had sadness, yes, but it also had softness. This new one? This burned. It sounded like loss without peace. Like someone who loved deeply but never felt safe enough to admit it until it was too late. The heartbreak wasn't just in the lyrics. It was in the delivery. You could hear it in her voice, the restraint, the push and pull. Every note sounded like it had history behind it. Years of collaboration, late nights, shared notebooks, eye contact across microphones. All of it slowly unraveling, not in a messy tabloid fight, but in an elegant, composed, devastating chorus. And somehow, that made it worse. There were no explosions, no shouting matches caught on camera. Just music. Just a melody that felt like it had been soaked in grief and then left out in the cold to dry. And for fans, especially those who had rooted for them for so long, it didn't just feel like heartbreak between two artists. It felt like watching something sacred fall apart. Slowly, painfully, beautifully. Like watching a house built from love burn down in slow motion, and knowing there's nothing you can do to stop it. What made it even harder was the nature of their bond. Teyana and Aaron were never a public couple in the traditional celebrity sense. There were no splashy red carpet moments. No big Instagram announcements. No pap walks or exclusive sources say headlines. They kept it quiet. Protected. And maybe that's why it felt so special, and so painful now. Behind the scenes, insiders always whispered that they were magic together. That they didn't just date, they created. They made music, yes, but also memories. They slept in studios, stayed up till sunrise chasing the right chord. They recorded verses that never saw the light of day, not because they weren't good enough, but because they were too personal, too raw, too real. The music wasn't just a product of their love, it was their love. Insiders say Aaron taught her melody. That he helped her structure her emotions through harmony. That he encouraged her to use her voice, not just vocally, but emotionally. He wasn't just a collaborator. He was a translator. And she, in return, gave him words. Lyrics. A way to speak what he couldn't always say out loud. Their bond, from what little the public got to glimpse, felt spiritual. Not just romantic. Not just creative. Something deeper. Something that didn't require cameras to validate it. That's why this song, this verse, stung the way it did. Because now, the very thing they built together is being used to tear it all down. One of Aaron's close friends, or at least someone claiming to be, posted anonymously on a forum that's since been taken down. The comment was simple, but it lit up the fan base instantly. He taught her how to express pain musically. And now she's using those lessons against him. That hit people hard. Because it wasn't angry. It wasn't blaming her. It was sad. Like someone who watched the bond grow from the inside, and now had to watch it unravel publicly. That line, using those lessons against him, it stayed with people. Because there's something especially painful about watching someone weaponize the very thing you gave them to heal. And if you were around during their earlier days, the secret collaborations, the acoustic snippets posted and deleted in minutes, the photos that always had just one of them cropped out, then you felt it even more. Back then, it felt like magic. Like something new and tender. There were no diss tracks. No jealousy. Just softness. Now, the tenderness is gone. What's left is heat. Silence. Lyrics sharpened like glass. You can feel the distance in the music. The kind of distance that doesn't come from anger, but from heartbreak that's settled deep into the bones. The kind of weight that sits in your chest, unmovable. And what's worse, what truly lingers, is that the fans were never supposed to be a part of this. Not like this. This wasn't supposed to be a scandal. It wasn't even supposed to be a reveal. It was just pain, turned into melody. Love, reshaped into art. And now it's out there, dissected, interpreted, memed, reposted. A private ache turned public spectacle. Then came the theories. Was this a stunt? A PR rollout designed to stir emotions and boost plays? Some fans think so. The timing was too perfect. The emotional arc too well drawn. They believe this is a coordinated story told through two performances, hers, in the song, his, in the live stream. A musical duet of heartbreak disguised as separation. But others reject that. Too raw, they say. Too unfiltered. No label would sign off on this much vulnerability. And there's no official credit. No dual promo. Just music. Raw and unbranded. One viral tweet said it best. They broke up. But their art is still dating. It got 100K likes in 24 hours. Because that's what it feels like. A love that ended off camera but continues to echo in every chorus and chord. The relationship may be over, but the story isn't. Especially when the soundtrack sounds like a shared memory trying to rewrite itself in real time. Right now, all eyes are on what comes next. Aaron hasn't posted since the live stream. No stories. No tweets. Just quiet. Teyana, on the other hand, is present. Not loud, but visible. Liking fan comments. Especially one that read, "Healing sounds painful sometimes." That like alone sparked more theories. Insiders say there's another track on the way, possibly even more revealing. But fans are split. Will Aaron clap back musically? Will he release something of his own? Or will he vanish again, letting silence be his only answer? The tension is thick. Because this isn't just about two artists. It's about two hearts, and 1,000 fans feeling every beat of what they left unsaid. And as each day passes with no statement, every old song, every archived live session, is being replayed with new meaning. Because sometimes, the music you made together becomes the loudest ghost in the room. This isn't just a music drop, it's a moment. A feeling. A fracture. Maybe even a finale. What Teyana said in melody, Aaron answered with silence. But silence can be louder than sound. Are we watching closure, or the beginning of something new? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think felt it more? And don't forget to subscribe, because the next lyric might be the truth.